Good morning, class. Hope everyone's doing well. Today we're going to learn about the current versus the financial account. And if we go to our workbook, page 217, we can see some bullet points as we start Unit 7. As you can see, the current account includes the country's trade balance and net exports, whereas the financial account measures capital inflows in the form of foreign savings that finance domestic investment and government borrowing. This is a very key bullet point. The current account and the financial account must sum to zero. That's something that the AP really focuses on. Capital flows between countries occur when loanable funds markets in the two countries establish different equilibrium real interest rates. Financial capital will flow into the country where the real interest rate is higher. Okay, we're going to now move on to the questions. Before we do, let's just go over the details of the current versus the financial account. The current account records a nation's exports and imports of goods and services. So it really measures the flow of goods and services that go between nations. It also includes net investment income, such as U.S. earnings on investment abroad, minus foreign earnings from capital invested in the United States. And then, of course, we have net transfers, foreign aid sent to other countries, and funds that immigrants send to family abroad. The financial account, on the other hand, has less movement across borders. Instead, it shows the flow of money that purchase the sale of assets domestically and abroad. For example, investors buying a hotel, which is real estate that doesn't flow across borders, a building in Tokyo, or shares in a Swedish company, or foreign investors buying a factory in the United States or stock in a U.S. company. So it's important to see that the current account is more exports and imports that flow across borders, whereas the financial account are more real estate capital that doesn't flow across borders. All right, so let's move on to the questions. First to go is going to be new ha, old ha, ha ha. And new ha, let's do the first one, which is the example they give. Harley Davidson USA purchases $25 million in production machinery from a Japanese company. That's going to be a debit, meaning money is flowing outside the U.S. and going to a Japanese company, and that would fall under the current account designation because they are buying machinery that flows across borders. Number two, let's hear from Tomas Diaz. Entrepreneur, get it? Entrepreneur, ha ha ha. A U.S. entrepreneur invests $50 million to develop a theme park in Malaysia. Well, in this case, the theme park is going to be real estate, so that would fall in the financial account. In addition, the money is going to flow out of the U.S. and into Malaysia, so that would be a debit. Next up, let's hear from Aiden DeSalvo. And Aiden, I hope you're eating one of these right now as usual while you do this question. A Chinese company sells $1 million worth of berets to the U.S. Army. That's not barrettes, ladies. That's berets. And those are hats. And if the Chinese company sells it to us, that means money is flowing out, so that would be a debit. And that would be part of the current account, as those berets are going to flow across the borders. Number four, let's hear from Alexander Kargis. BMW pays $1 million to a U.S. shipper for transporting cars from Germany to the United States. That's going to be a credit because money is coming into the United States, and that would be part of the current account because it is a service. They are shipping the cars, which is a service that would fall in the current account, and that would be a credit to the United States. Number five, let's hear from Jake 5 gallons of milk. Each month, immigrant, get it, immigrant, who recently arrived in the United States sends half her paycheck to her sister in Poland. As we learned previously, monies that are sent by immigrants to people in foreign nations would fall under the current account, and that would obviously be a debit, money flowing out of the U.S. and going to Poland. Number 6, let's hear from Asia Harris. The Bank of America pays $5 million in interest to French depositors. Again, that falls in the current account, and that would be money flowing out of the United States and going to France, so that would be a debit. Number 7, let's hear from Jake. The eagle flies south for the winter. Senor Ramos from Spain buys a shopping center in Florida. That is obviously real estate. That's going to fall on the financial account, and that would be a credit to the United States. Money is coming in from Spain for the shopping center. Number 8, let's hear from Willamai Kirk. Oh my God, Mr. Gurney, I'm going to get this wrong. I don't know it. Number 8, Willamai, a Brazilian investor buys 5 $10,000 U.S. Treasury bonds. Those are going to be in the financial account. Those are financial instruments like bonds and stocks. And since it's a Brazilian person, that's going to be money flowing into our country or a credit. Number 9, let's hear from Nick. The pasta is al dente. German tourists spend $3 million in the United States. U.S. tourists spend $5 million in Germany. That's going to be a net $2 million debit, since we're spending $2 million more than them. And that would be in the current account, since it is tourism and not permanent real estate. We're buying goods and services in each other's nations. Number 10, let's hear from Shakira MacGyver. And this is Brit Ditz, a London record store, spends $10,000 on CDs by the Generic Girls, a U.S. kiddie pop group. Since the money is being spent from a London store, that would be a credit for the U.S., and it would be in the current account, since those discs or CDs are going to be flowing across borders. And finally, number 11, let's hear from Jack Faislama Jama. Zamboni, a U.S. ice rink magnate, buys stock in a Chilean ice rink chain. Get it? Zamboni, those of you who are hockey people out there. And what we see here, folks, is they're buying stock. So that would fall in the financial account. And since it is U.S. magnate and they're buying it in the Chilean firm, that would be a debit. So that's activity 7.1. There are some graphs on page 221 that you can work on. I hope this was educational and reminded you of being back at school. I do miss you guys, and I hope we can see each other soon. I think now you know why we spent so much time discussing the coronavirus, as it certainly has had made an impact on our nation and certainly our economy. So, signing off, Mr. Gurney, miss you guys.